We're back to do a mock draft. It's a 9-category one. It's a head-to-head one, but it's for 20 teams. I am picking at number 20, and Michael Bolton feels sorry for me.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and I was the voice behind Frankie Valli. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Twitter as always at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and we are available on all platforms, so give it a thumb, a bang, a comment. Here we are. 2 shows out today already. Arguments with Karan and arguments with Danny Besbris, Danny B. Now let's do some mock drafts. Maybe get a second one out today. This is 20 teams, and we're going to start doing 20s, 16, 14, and then we're going to start going from each position in the first round. We're going to do points league ones mixed in there as well, but this is for categories. So we'll get to that. And to not interrupt the flow of a mock draft, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. I'm sure you're well aware of that because it is America's #1 sportsbook. When you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you're watching it, things are developing, you see it with your eyes, you feel it with your vibes, and you can place a bet. You open it up, you see the options there on FanDuel. And they've got the live stats. They've got also not only the live stats, but also the play-by-play. And it's all in the same spot where you would place that bet. So when you want to put your knowledge to the test, you can do it over on FanDuel. So go ahead and as a new customer, place a $5 bet. It'll get you started. Just place a $5 bet and you get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. So head across over to FanDuel, sign up, start the account, $5 in, $200 bonus bets. Go to FanDuel.com to get started. And don't forget to gamble responsibly. Today's episode is also brought to you by the Game Time app. We want to go to events. They're fun. It's fun. It's exciting. They're events, live sports, live comedy, live music, like live theater. Game Time knows this. And Game Time knows that it can be frustrating at times. And they want to take the guesswork out of buying tickets. A new feature, Game Time Picks, which instead of having to filter through and go, is this good? Is this bad? Where's that seat? What's the price? Where's the value? They just cut that part of it out. You don't have to worry about it. Because they will filter it out and they will show you the good ones. They'll show you the good tickets. This is the value where it sits at the moment, my guy. And they'll throw that. There's so many other things. The views from your seat. The lowest price guarantee. The flash deals. The prices that drop. The closer it gets to the event starting. Game Time has all of this. Plus, of course, you can toggle on all-in pricing. So that when you go to check out, you can see the full price there. You don't have to worry about waiting for additional fees to be added. You can just see it as you're purchasing the ticket. So many great features. So take that guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. All right, so the draft's about to get ready. I'm going to go get ready. I'll see you back when it starts. Let's bring this bad boy in. It is a little bit squishy to see, obviously, because we've got 20 teams. I'm picking at number 20, so I'm on the very far right of the screen where you can see me over there. So it is going to be a little bit squishy, so apologies. I know it can be hard to read, but I don't really know how else we fit 20 teams on the screen, to be honest. I believe everyone is in the draft room. We've got a minute to go. That is literally unbelievable to have that quick of an uptake and get everyone in without me having to wrangle. That's really good. I'm excited about that. And now we have to just wait and see how the draft plays out, and haven't done a 20-team league in a long time. Now, it does change strategy a little bit. It's not as simple as, what just means you're going deeper, yeah? Which is true, but when you're picking your first pick at number 20 versus number 12, well, it's very different. When you pick at number 1, you're still doing the same thing, but your next pick is number 40. And when we're talking about the flyers that we take at 121, 130, that's your 5th player, your 6th player. You have to be more safe. Your flyers don't exist there. So we're not taking all the upside swings at 120, 140. That's 260, 280. Very different sort of strategy here. So we'll see how many people not use the strategy, because it's a relatively straightforward strategy, but how many people adjust, see how people do that. Again, this is not a common draft form, and I won't do another 20-team draft after this. This will be the only one. But it is important just for those people who do play in deep leagues. And as a general rule, I would suggest that if you want deeper, you just do fewer teams. You don't necessarily have to do fewer teams, larger rosters. That's what I would do, because it can get a little bit like unfair, I guess, in terms of the distribution of talent. Speaking of distribution of talent, we're often running here. Wemby 1, Jokic 2, Doncic 3. Cool. That's a very, very stock standard start to a draft. We're well aware of that. And we'll see what two people just allegedly dropped out. But I know they're here because I saw them here. And Life of Cuz is here as well. But is he not drafting? It's going to annoy me. I will pause it. Timer expired. Let's pause that and figure out what's going on. All right, he is here. He is allegedly ready to go. So let's go in and resume the draft. I'm sure he'll still take the same player. I just want to make sure that they're there. I don't want it to run all the way through, then someone else isn't there later on. And look, especially at this spot, like whatever. If he gets auto-drafted Shea, it's all good. Like, he would have been fine, but I just need to make sure that everyone's there and ready to go. And now he's not going to pick. He tells me he's ready and he's not going to pick. Bro. How about picking then? What is he doing? Anyway, I'm not... he left a comment in the chat, didn't pick. I'll leave it auto-picked at Shea. That is unbelievable. What was that? Giannis goes at 5. Got Yuri there picking at 6 with Anthony Davis. Pretty strong pick. And now things get interesting, don't they? Lou, knower of ball, I'm going to guess that says, because I can't read it because it's a little bit cramped up. And is this guy here? What's he doing? Life of Cuz. Big fella, what are you up to? Lou goes Halliburton. That is a very, very standard top 7. Kyle Prosky has this decision now of what he is going to do in this area. And now this guy just not responding, Life of Cuz. What are you doing, mate? Anthony Edwards at 8 is outrageous. Wow, that's crazy. In a 20-team league, Edwards at 8 is insane. Anyway, that's okay. We'll see how it goes. Tatum goes at 9. Zik 2K at 10. Very intriguing. This is going to test my idea of what happens with Embiid. Now, Embiid's going to go before I take him, but would I take him at 20? I probably would. Harden goes at 10, and this is happening all the way through. This guy is serious. Holmgren at 11. Oh, I hate that pick. Oh, I hate Holmgren there. But again, this is a 20-team league, so it does change some of the valuations. Blocks become even harder to get. With 20 teams, it does become harder. So Chet is 11, Embiid 12, Don Mitchell 13, Trey 14. Oh, I do not like Don Mitchell before Trey Young. Now, Steph at 15. We are getting actually close to my pick. Point Made Josh. That's not me. That's someone from the Point Made site, whose name is Josh also. Sabonis at 16. Pretty good value there. What am I going to... I'm taking LaMelo if he gets to me, by the way. That is what I'll do. LaMelo or Towns are my two options that I want to take. We'll put LaMelo there. Barnes at 17. Surprisingly, no one has taken Durant. No one has taken Booker here. I don't want Durant at 20. Matt Carmody is going to take LaMelo. I feel pretty confident that he will. Oh, Devin Booker goes. All right, so can I get LaMelo or Towns? I am shocked that actually no one has gone with Durant. I thought I was relatively on an island with this idea about KD. Damien, what are you doing, mate? Oh, he took LaMelo. Okay, so I've got the 2 picks on the turn. All right. I think I probably... let's see. Like I said when talking with Dan Besbris on the show earlier today about my opinion on Durant, is that I probably will take him in some spots. I'll end up taking Towns first. Next, I'm going to spread my load out in across many different areas. Now, do I take LeBron here? Do I take Paul George or do I take Durant? I will take Durant here. All right, now look, I got Towns at 20, Durant at 21. I think Durant could easily be in the 30s. I think Towns could be 12th. But there are a lot of fluctuations in this spot. And I could have taken LeBron at that position. I could have taken Paul George there. I could have taken Jalen Brunson. I could have taken Kyrie Irving as a game is going on at the moment or just as finished. Zion Williamson was absolutely cooking, I believe, in the game earlier today. So there are a lot of different options. Not to say that I would have taken old mate Zion there, but we are in a really interesting position with some of the performances and some of the things that have developed. So Van Vliet goes after Şengün. 2 Rockets, 23 and 24. And LeBron goes at 25. I like that from you, point made. LeBron and Sabonis together makes a lot of sense. I'm just looking at this Pelicans game now. Zion in 19 minutes had 16, 8, and 3 with 2 steals. Oh, yeah. Okay, that is on. Big game from Geordie Hawkins in that one too. And Carlo Makovic not really in the rotation. That is disappointing. That will take him out of those last round flyers to me. They started CJ and DeJounte together, but that is, we don't know because Trey and Ingram were both out, so we wouldn't really get other options there. And that is also what's important when we're looking at these preseason games, is that if Ingram and Trey both aren't there, that's a lot of shots and a lot of different minutes. So Hawkins played 21 minutes and had 18 points, but you got 70 minutes, 65 minutes between Ingram and Murphy to come back. Everyone gets pushed back a little bit. The Makovic out of the rotation thing, he did play 8 minutes, but that is interesting and worth noting. But we'll see. Let's watch for game 2. If they run the same thing, then work out entirely on him. But maybe they start him. I would think Tice is still going to start, though. Anyway, after LeBron was Lillard. Then it was Kyrie. Then it was De'Aaron Fox at 20. And now I've got time to go and make a drink. Honestly, if I wasn't recording, I'd probably come back later on and have a chat to you guys. Who knows what I'd do. Because it's a long time before we get down to my selection. I realize that for some reason, pick 1 is just sort of out of screen weirdly there. We'll get it across in a sec. Oh, there it is. It's just moving across nicely. De'Aaron Fox goes at 28. Morant at 29 feels a little early. Cade at 30, I do like that. And Paul George at 31, I think is an unbelievably good value in that position. I really like getting Paul George there. From Zick to... he's got Harden and George together. Very interesting. Former teammates. White Mamba went with Tatum in round 1. I'm very intrigued to see what Prosky does because he went with Edwards, probably the largest surprise to me in the first round. Edwards at 8 versus anyone else. I'd say maybe the Holmgren at 11 one was a little surprising. The Edwards team, which is Kyle Prosky, goes with Tyrese Maxey there, which is pick 33, which is good. Jaren going at 32 is a little surprising to me, especially like he's injured to start the season. I'm not dropping him down my board because of that, but intriguing to see that. And Kawhi Leonard goes at 34. In a 20-team league, your second round pick, that really could sink you. I wouldn't do it. Evan Mobley, 35. DeJounte at 36. I think that's an amazing value there on DeJounte, actually. Jalen Williams, the Bronco at 37 is also really good value. I think that we are entering Zion Williamson territory here, by the way. He's no shot of getting back to me at pick, whatever my next pick is. 60. Oh, no, I've got third round reversal. Maybe I do get Zion. I forgot I've got third round reversal. So I've got pick 41. Forgot to mention that. We do have third round reversal. It's a big league. We have to do that, I think. Jalen Johnson goes 38. I'm going to throw Zion into the queue. Watch me miss out on LaMelo, who I wanted, and Zion. So Lauri Markkanen is 39, which is about okay for head-to-head leagues. We're dealing with, obviously, the fear of March shutdowns for Lauri. As I just adjust myself in my chair. Let's see. Does this guy with Wemby make the decision to annoy me and to take the big fella Zion? Because that is who I'm going to take. I'm really, really investing in Zion, I think. I've already drafted him a couple of real drafts. Oh, he took him. You cannot be serious. That is twice that has happened now. The guy that I want, one pick before. Now, is it make or break? No, of course not. What do I do here, though? Let me look at where we're sitting scarcity-wise. Points and assists are the scarce ones. I have Towns and Durant. Maybe I don't need assists. I'm going to go maybe a punt assist situation here. I'll take Bam Adebayo there. Not that he's bad at assists, but let's focus on some other areas. Yeah, it's because that's at pick 20, and I didn't get ball. Going to be harder for me now to compete in assists. So let's just move on from him. We'll do something different. Damo 6. 38 picks until my turn. That is snooze territory. We're flying here. 14 seconds a pick. Des Bane goes. I drafted Bane in the league the other day. I feel like no one's talking about him, including me. He's almost becoming the new boring guy in round 4. After Bane goes Jaylen Brown at 43. This is all relatively straightforward stuff. But I also, again, like I said, we have to be extra cautious of scarcity in a league this deep, extra cautious of flyers, and extra cautious of games played and injury risk. Because Kawhi in round 2 hurts you a lot more than Kawhi in round 4. Because you've got one other player theoretically better than him versus 3 or 4 others. And that's where like Jimmy Butler, who's sitting near the top of this list, becomes a concern as well. After Jaylen Brown, it was Miles Turner, followed by Paolo Banchero, the 159th ranked player in 9 category leagues from last season. He goes at 45. And then, what am I going to look at with my next ball? I'm not even considering what I'm doing now because just a million things are going to happen in the time period before we get there. So Siakam goes at 46. Be very interesting to see this team here, SMK, who has Don Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox. So he's gone 2 point guards. 2 point guards who aren't super high assist players. Oh, and he's gone another one with Quickly. So just hitting the 6 assist mark, the 5-6 assist zone, which is okay. But now he needs to look at like where is he getting blocks, rebounds, field goal percentage? Where is that coming from? Because once again, we are in a 20-team league, and your ability to just double-end it back to back. And remember, we have these runs in 12-teamers where centers go off the board. In this league, that'll happen within half a round almost. And then you are in real strife. But he's in the middle of the draft, so it's not as aggressive for him. After quickly goes the headmaster, Jamal Murray, then Franz Wagner at 50, who I would like a little bit later, Franz, but I think he's okay there. And what have we got next? Interesting that Life of Cars, old auto pick legend himself, he went with 2 Thunder players. I love that pick from the big guy at the start, Espirito and Last Something, because it's blocked out. It goes Wemby and Zion, 2 number 1 overall picks, good value. Zion at 40. I don't know. I love Zion. I'm really excited for him. Darius Garland at 51. Normally don't see Garland go that high. I think it's fine. But people are very scared based on last season. So the Jaren Jackson team goes with Jarrett Allen. And they've got Jason Tatum. So I'm going to say that they're fairly low in assists. So they're not going to be prioritizing that. Kyle Prosky takes Jalen Duren at 53. Okay. Fine. I worry about minutes upside there. And Derek White goes at 54 to pair with Tyrese Halliburton and Kawhi Leonard. So that's good assist numbers, low turnover team. DeRozan to Uri, paired with Mobley and Davis. I would have had DeRozan around that spot there. And Gobert is next to go with Giannis and DeJounte. So that team's free throws are going to be rough. Also remember, when you are in a deeper league, recovering from percentage holes can be a little bit harder just because you're not able to get as much volume in each individual round compared to where it would be in a 10 or 12 teamer. After Gobert is the Snowman, DeAndre Ayton, Ginger Juice legend, and then Brandon Miller goes at 58. That's early, man. I don't like Miller there. Yeah, it's too early for me. And then Joshie Giddey goes at 59. Followed by the thick Hogsman at number 60. Old mate Espirito, that team, man. I love it. Wemby, Zion, and Toby Harris. So what's he going to do to back us around here at round 4, pick 1? The team is going to be very difficult to beat, I'm guessing. My team at number 20 is going to be easy to beat because that's just the nature of picking at 20, isn't it? Do auction drafts. Nick Claxton at 61. Interesting stuff. Day'Ron Sharpe out for a long period of time. This, to me, is just like... I really like Noah Clowney. I think he's their best prospect on that team. And he is now going to get backup center minutes. He might start at power forward. I think almost out the chute, he's getting 20 plus. and that will expand as the season goes on. I'm big now into Clowney with the news that Sharp is out 6 weeks, because that means that Clowney has to get 18 minutes backup center a night, I'm guessing, because they don't like to give Claxton too many. So it's going to be like, let's say 16. Claxton 32, Clowney 16. Give him 9 or 10 backup power forward minutes, or he starts at power forward, and we are rolling. Absolutely in. Clowney, and I'll say this term and then I will explain it, because if you want to clip this out and listen to only this part, Noah Clowney is a must-draft player. And what I mean by that is that he has to be drafted by somebody. He should not slip to the waiver wire in any league. You do not have to reach to grab him. You do not need to prioritize Noah Clowney. But Noah Clowney should be drafted in every single league. And then we figure it out later on if you drop him or if it doesn't work out. But he is a must draft in the literal definition of has to be drafted by somebody in a league. After Claxton at 61 goes Mikal Bridges, 62. Levine, Hartenstein, Beal, and Poole. All that is, Yuri going with Jordan Poole. I am absolutely on board with that Yuri with Poole there, but Poole goes at like 90s and 100s, 80s in some leagues. So you've gone early based on ADP, but who cares? Totally reasonable to get Jordy Poole in that position. Where else are we looking here? Vooch, which I don't like Vooch this season, but at 67, I'm fine. Absolutely a totally reasonable position for Vooch to be in. I like it quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but I do like it. I'm definitely not going to be clowning on you. If you wanted to take him at 30, where I believe he is ranked in a certain format on ESPN, well, that one doesn't make a lot of sense. But, at 67, Vooch is okay. Cam Thomas next to Kyle Prosky. Then Miles Bridges and Julius Randle, which I do like the Bridges pick. Thomas one, there's a lot of scoring with Edwards, Maxey, and Thomas on that team, and that's okay. That is a way of doing things. But it is a certain type of player. Fantasy Punisher is up next. He took Holmgren, which I did not like, and then he got Cade, which I did, and Franz, which I was ambivalent towards, and now he's letting the clock run down, which is always awesome when we've got 20 rounds. Ingram, which I don't like. And you know what? I love that he is doing this. I love that he is in this draft because he thinks very differently to me, and that's what I want in these mock drafts. I would not pick Ingram there. I probably wouldn't have picked Franz there, and I definitely wouldn't have picked Chet there. But traditional rankings and ADPs often have these guys in this zone, so go for it. Do what you want. Let's mix it up a bit. You have a different opinion. I have a different opinion, and that makes the mock funner. More fun. D'Angelo Russell at 72. We saw this, actually. I said this on another show the day about Jovan Buha talking about maybe Austin Reeves doing a little bit more ball handling, and Reeves had a big assist game last game. I've been targeting Russell a bit in these rounds, and I'm getting a little cautious, and I'm sort of pushing Austin Reeves up. Speaking of Lakers, Max Christie's good, man. I think he's going to be better than Rui Hachimura. I don't know how long it will take JJ Redick to realize that, but Max Christie is good, and he's probably going to play 20 minutes a night immediately and should get 30 at some point if they're serious. The other one to watch who is good, this is for deeper leagues and might even be something I do here, Trey Alexander in Denver. He's better than Christian Brown. I think he could actually be better than Russell Westbrook in certain situations, and I think he might end up better than Julian Strouder. It's a long way for him to go. He's a two-way contract guy, and Strouder, Brown, and Westbrook are going to get all those opportunities. But he's very comfortably ahead of Jalen Pickett. I think he's actually good. I think he should have been a top 20-ish pick in this draft, and he went undrafted. Trey Alexander, keep an eye. Austin Reeves went. All right, I need to lock in here, because after Russell goes Mark Williams, Anunoby, Reeves, Hero, Kuzma. I'm too scared to say out loud who I want, even though I said Reeves and he just went, because the last two times I've been screwed over with it. So I've got back-to-backs here coming up. So Brook Lopez, well, I didn't want him at 78, so that's good. That's Matty Carmody. Kuzma at 77 is fine. Top of the Fantrax queue is Vassell, who I don't want. Kobe White and Drew Holiday, who I don't want. Trey Murphy, who I don't want. They're all injured. What do I want here? Actually, I don't know. I actually have no idea what I'm trying to do here. I got some... Zubats goes. Well, that would have been nice, actually. I need some scoring. My scoring is bad. I'm going to take Ron Barrett. Might feel early. We're in a 20-teamer, though. And now the next one is tough. What do I do here? Do I lean into scoring again? Because it is going to be impossible to get. Is Sexton the guy? No, no. I'm bucketing. I'm taking Johnny Come. Lately. Johnny Come lately. The bucket. And I immediately hate both of those selections. Hate them. Oh my God, I hate those picks. RJ Barrett and John Kuminga. No, they're fine. Could have taken Simons. The reason I didn't take Simons there, even though I think he's a very good scorer, is I worry about availability in March. And I feel better about those other two players. Simons could easily be better. Sexton, I also worry about shenanigans and trades, so I didn't go with him. Like Trey Murphy would have been my pick. I'm a little worried about the hamstring, how long it lingers. Actually, the easy one would have been Devin Vassell, but I'm just not picking him there. So after Kuminga went Walker Kessler, who started in the preseason. By the way, that also makes Taylor Hendricks a must-draft player. Don't know if he'll continue to start, but has to be drafted, and I would not consider drafting. Someone's going to take John Collins. I'm going to guess Fantasy Punisher is going to take him with his pick, and I'm not going to like it. I'm just not in on him. We're also in very clear CJ McCollum zone here, and that should be starting to be considered. Same with Jabari Smith in this area. But it is what I want you to understand about preseason games. It is good to look at the good performances, and I've done it with many players. It is very important to look at who is not playing. Who is out? What minutes do they have? Where does that push everyone else back? And where do the shots sit? After Drew Holiday, who went at 85, which is about, it's probably marginally early, but it's fine. Jabari Smith, this is where he's going in every league. I'm not certain I'm fully in on that. But we're into the zone where everything is sort of okay. I'm going to throw Simons into my queue. I am surprised that he's fallen this far, to be honest. I'll just put Simons, Murphy, and CJ there. Pirtle goes 87. Poop Cookie Michael Porter goes at 88. Yeah, I don't want to get too invested in my next one. We are 31 picks away. Cool Jays man. You a Toronto Blue Jays fan, are you? And you think you're cool when you're from Toronto. That's interesting. Oxymoron. Mick Conley got auto-picked, and he wasn't the top of the queue, or the top of the board, so he must have been in your queue, but that's annoying that you autoed, but that's okay. Whatever, we move. Let's see if Fantasy Punisher does my thing and takes John Collins, or he takes CJ. He'll take CJ. Guaranteed, right? Or no, maybe he won't because he's got Ingram. But this is actually prime CJ territory. Come on, Fantasy Punisher, do your thing. Oh, he went with Simons. Okay, no, I like it. It's still a good pick. I like it. Keegan Murray's floating around. I'm going to put Nurkic in my queue as well because I do want to pick him. And this also becomes the interesting question about, in a 12-team league, outside pick 100, like Porzingis is fine. But pick 100 is where we're at now, 91 we're at now. And Porzingis would be your fifth best player. That's a gigantic no-go. And it will be awesome when he returns, and if you're in good enough position to be in the playoffs, and he's rolling at 28 minutes a night, but can you get there with your fifth best player out? I wouldn't leave Porzingis to the 10th round in this draft. I would start to consider round 6 or 7 because I think that becomes manageable, and that is a big leg up towards the end of a season. But it's so risky. Kobe White at 92, I think that's fine there. Jalen Green at 93. He does have a type. Kyle Prowski. Edwards, flashy scorer. Maxey, sort of flashy scorer. Cam Thomas, the flashiest scorer. Jalen Green, also a flashy scorer. Very, very similar type. And then Jalen Duren randomly chucked in there. And it's okay to have a type. It's okay to do what you like and prioritize the guys that you value. Good strategy. Lou, knower of ball, takes Onyeka Okongwu at 94. Ooh. That's marginally early. And then Amen Thompson to Yuri at 95. Yuri, I love Amen. There was too many guys left on the board there that I would have taken in his spot. It feels too early when there is no guaranteed start there. So, Nurkic just went off the board at 97. CJ went at 96. That is really good for CJ there. I love that for him. And Nurk was the one I really wanted. And now we are getting to the stage where if it gets back around to me, that Sexton will be an option for me. I'll put him into my queue. So, Fehavar video, something. He's been one. I try. Now, apologies to people. If you do sign up for these mocks and I kick you out, I apologize. Can't go around with the individual personalized apologies and explanations, but I just tried not to have the exact same person in all the drafts. So if I've seen your name and you've been in multiple of them, like there was 2 Aidens that were in today, I kicked them out because they've been in multiple times, and Apollo has been in multiple times. There's a few guys that I see all the time, and that's great that they're in there. But I'm just not going to have them in every time. Like I'm not going to have like Carmody back in the next one. I'm not going to chuck, if Fantasy Punishes in the next one, I'll kick him out. Because I just want to have a mix of people in them. Valanciunas goes at 98, and then Trey Murphy got auto-picked at Dayrock at 99, which is okay. It's okay. And then Sexton goes at 100. Espirito, my guy, you are doing very well. I enjoy what you're doing a lot. So that's 100 picks down. My team is Towns, Durant, Adebayo, Kuminga, and Barrett. I am not really concentrating on assists, but my assists are mid-pack. My blocks are fine. My steals are low. My threes need a bit of work as well. My percentages are fine. Suggs goes at 101. So what do I actually need to look at here? I need to figure out what I'm doing with steals and free throws. And Suggs would have been an option, but he just went at 61. I am a little surprised that someone hasn't jumped on Keegan Murray yet or on Naz Reid. And Keontae George is always one of my late targets, and I'm not sure I will go with him in this one, though. Keegan Murray got timer expired. Dayrock, if you just left, that's so annoying. It's so annoying for you to do that, and you will now also probably not be in the next mock. Keontae at 103. That's early, actually. Whoa, okay. That's early. But whatever. But also, again, remember, we are in round 6. This is your 6th best player. How confident are you in old mate Keontae? I don't think you should be super confident. I'm just going to throw Hendricks and Clowney into my... Ooh, Caruso. Actually, wow. Yeah, I had Caruso real high. He would have been an option for me. A little surprised that he lasted that long. And then goes Chris Paul at 106 to Yuri. That's a good pick from you. What's Lou going to do? Lou got center the last 2 picks with Vooch and Okongwu. What's actually my roster looking like in terms of positional fills? I don't have a point guard or a guard yet. I do need to start thinking about that. Derek Lively goes... He's gone center. Lou, okay. Starting to snag them. I need a point guard eligible player. At some point soon. Don't need to worry yet. Terry Rozier is actually a good pick there. Life of Cuz at 104. After your shenanigans early on, you've actually drafted a very strong team, I think. Kyle Prosky timing out. He was looking for a chucker. Couldn't find one, but ended with Brandon Pajemski at 108. Just got it in before the clock ticked down. And then White Mamba looking to add to his core of Tatum, Jaren, Jarrett, Allen, that is, Miles Bridges, and Kobe White. Mr. White. Scooter. Sterling Henderson goes at 109. Herb Jones, interestingly, still there. I will snag him because I want some steals. Denny Abdia also still there, which is a little... Ooh, there goes Porzingis. So the question's answered. Porzingis went at round 6. I would have considered him in my turn pick at the 7th. Oh, there goes Herb as well. Fantasy Punisher. That is a good move from you. But they are the guys that I wanted. Okay. What do we do here? Dan Gafford's gone at 112. Really solid value there for Gaff as well. With, like, if they, for some reason, give him 26, he smashes that. And then Middleton goes at 113. That's the Porzingis zone. Well, hell, he's hurt. I love it otherwise in a 12-teamer, but in a 20er, 6th best player, and you've got Mark Williams, and you've got Michael Porter. Tyus Jones at 114. Fine. Getting assists is hard. They are not around, and I am not concentrating on them because I know they're hard, and I didn't start off with assists, even though my assist number is sitting at 3.8, which is okay. It's okay. I'm actually just going to, on my standing screen, I'm going to have a look just where I would be in the assist zone. Look, where would I sit? I'm actually sort of, assists, I'm like, actually, no, I'm not. That's not true. I'm down near the bottom. I got second worst assist. My bad. I thought I was better. Denny Avdia goes... So after Tyus, it was Naz Reid 115, Avdia 116, Smart 117. DiVincenzo, 118. Interesting pick. It is getting to my selection now, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Josh Hart goes. All right, so John Collins is on the board. I won't take him. Andrew Wiggins is one for me here. I am... Yeah, this is where, I'm, looking at risk. I'm looking at upsides. I'm just going to take Taylor Hendricks, I think. I actually hate that. I'm going to actually snag Clint Capella there. And now what am I going to do? I just wanted to make sure I got some blocks in. Do I take Wiggins? Do I take Hendricks? I'm going to take Hendricks. That is... I don't... Could have gone with Clowney as well. He won't come back to me, I'm guessing, at 160. Trace Jackson-Davis next. Jeremy Grant was also on the board that I considered. I should have taken Alex Sarr. Damn it, that's a bad pick from me. Panic there. Should have taken Sarr. Bad pick. Really wasn't locked in at all. All locked on, so to speak. Also, you'll be shocked to know we got a Malcolm Brogdon injury update and he's injured again. Shockingly. So yeah, Jordan Poole, Bob Carrington, Bilal Koulibaly. A lot of value. Out at least a month with a hand injury. Brogdon's not going to get to 20 games. After Trace Jackson-Davis goes Bob Portis and Alex Sarr. Yeah, should have got Sarr, shouldn't I? That's so annoying. Did Edie go? Is Zach Edey gone? No, Zach Edey has not gone. Very intriguing. The other one will be Ricochet that I'm going to look at. What do you think about Ron Holland after his performance yesterday? That was very interesting. I was very intrigued with what he did. I'm out. I'm fully out on Brogdon now. That is, yeah. Don't think you can draft Brogdon now. Malik Monk is a very good pick there at 126. And this is the type of spot where I would never touch Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But in this draft format, 100% I would. He is a very, very good option in this part of the draft. I'm just thinking what other injury news we got today. I haven't even mentioned it really on any show that Shams Charania joined ESPN to replace Woj. After all this talk of let's get Jeff Passan in, let's get Adam Schefter in, Shams just took the spot. Still need to know who's going to be replacing for competition at some other spot, whether at the Athletic or whatever it is. Zach Edey, 2,003 minutes in the game. Okay. I'm just looking at some other stuff that's coming through here. Jeremy Sohan is definitely someone I want to be grabbing, I think, with my next pick. I think that people are sleeping a little on Sohan here. I don't know if he's going to make it back to me. Well, Zach Edey goes there, just as I'm talking, 129, followed by Jeremy Grant at 130, which for Jeremy Grant is really good. And I'm actually a little surprised that Johnny Collins is still there. And there goes Clay. So we are interesting territory here. Let me also throw one thing out to you. I'm worried about Asar Thompson. He still doesn't have clearance from this blood clot. And he was doing stuff at media day and he was there. I'm getting quite worried about where that goes. And if Asar is out, Ron Holland does become draftable. They might start Fontecchio and there's Hardaway there, but if this is they just took Sohan at 133. If Asar is missing chunks of time and is in doubt, then Holland is flyer draftable, I believe. No, hey, hang on, is Dyson Daniels not gone yet? He would go in drafts way before this usually. Well, there goes Asar Thompson at 134. Interesting. Andrew Wiggins also still available. And I am going to throw Odasumu into my queue. I'm also going to throw the man that I just said and forgot his name. Oh, Holland. I'm just going to throw Dutchie into the queue as well, just so I remember. There goes, after Asar, it went Nembhard and Wiggins at 136. I'm shocked that Daniels hasn't gone. I'm also a little surprised that Al Horford's still there. That's going into my queue too. Built up a bit of a queue here. People just off John Collins. I thought Collins was going at 100 in drafts. And people just completely out now that he didn't start that one game. As much as I'm not in on John Collins, I'm surprised. Mitch Robinson and Shaden Sharp sitting there as well with no one really look at them. And also, Jaime I'm a little bit shocked that no one's gone him or DeAnthony Melton or even Jaden Ivey after his big performance yesterday. Well, there goes Clowney. You clown. Annoying. And there goes John Collins at 139. Like, that's D-Rock, who was out and now is back in. Actually, that's fine for him there. And this is, again, KCP will work here. My queue just got destroyed, by the way. Norman Powell. Kevin Porter. Ooh, I like that. Porter, Clippers watchers were very impressed with Porter. I'm not. He still had his bad percentages, but there is a very clear opportunity for him to do more on that team. Jaden Ivey, also really, really interesting selection. Given, like, he played really well. He shot 75% though, so don't buy too much into that. And that Pistons team was interesting. Huckers goes at 143. Huckers' value is tied a lot, I believe, into absences of Jim Butler. So we'll see what they do there. I am surprised that Horford's still there. I don't know why he would be lasting this long. I am very surprised that... who was the guy that I was very surprised... Oh, I'm actually surprised that Schroeder and Melton are still there. Oh, Dosunmu is the other one. Shaden Sharp, injured legend. He got auto-picked. Sharp, I am a little worried. That's a second labral tear in that shoulder. They said 4 to 6 weeks, but if that needs surgery, that's basically season over. I hope that's not what happens. DeAnthony Melton at 145 could end up very, very strong value there. The two top guys on my board at the moment are Horford and Dosunmu. Well, there goes Horf at 146. And I'm not a big Dosunmu guy. He was playing huge minutes. There were reasons for that. There was no Kobe White for periods of time. There was no Levine. Obviously, there was no Giddey, but Caruso was there, but also no Pat Williams. So I don't think he's getting those minutes, but interesting to see whether he carries it across. And also, people are avoiding Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, even though this is the format to draft him. Keon Ellis at 147. Bilal. I snuck him onto the back of my queue, but this man, Kyle, who I did not like, he started the draft. He took two of the guys that I wanted to sneak through in Sohan and Bilal late. Yeah, one of those guys. It's frustrating. Kyle's team is really intriguing because he's obviously loaded up on big scorers, which we know is a category that goes off the board quickly. It's a deeper league, so when you get more of it... Wait, what on earth just happened there? Wait, someone just drafted Olivier Sarr. You know what? I'm going to let it run because you need to be aware of those mistakes. What on earth? And that is a mistake that will happen. Someone typed in Sarr and drafted him. He tore his Achilles in the G League, as old mate says here. And Rob Williams goes next. He's injured as well with a hamstring injury. That's a mistake that gets made. So watch that with Sarr. Watch that, because there are two Sarrs. Ricochet and Dosunmu. Westbrook. Oh, that's actually really good, Ross, there. 150. Oh, yeah, that's really good. As much as I don't love it. Gaz Trent at 153. I think it's going to be a really disappointing season. iHeartRadio just got Dick. He also selected Grady at 154, so that's a good move. Everyone really enjoying the Olivier Sarr pick here in the chat. Chat, what do we think? Should I have wound it back? As the kids would say, chat, what do we think? Is this true, chat? Normie Powell. I'm going to start locking in now because it is my pick. Powell goes at 155. You know what? Dennis Schroeder and Tari Eason, why are they still there? Oh, there goes Schroeder. Look, we are sliding these guys down too far. KCP. Castle. Do I take... Yeah, but I like Ricochet and Dosunmu too. I'll throw Eason into my queue. When does Drummond have standalone value? We must be getting to that spot now as well. John Isaac, incredibly intriguing. I think it's Ricochet. That's annoying. Isaac, incredibly intriguing here too. Same with Max Strus, who's almost the KCP type. Boring, effective. Bub Carrington. Now, Matt Carmody is your 8th best player. I cannot abide by that. I'm going to try... Well, there goes KCP, so I can't do that. I'm going to take... I need guards, don't I? So let's take... Let's take Winter Soldier. And let's take Io DeSumo. And that is my starting lineup apart from one flex. So now we're good. We can do whatever we need to do. And I get Wendell Carter going at 162 is interesting. That value on KCP is strong. I think the value of me getting Strus is strong. Whoever takes Eason and Oubre and even Heald and Drummond, there's a lot happening here. Even Neesmith, who I don't love, like there's value here in these spots. John Isaac's still there. Jalen Smith is becoming an interesting one. But remember, we're also picking here. These aren't stash. These are guys we need to use. Isaac, to me, is the clear standout at the moment, I think. Although it is risky, of course. Okay. Jaden McDaniels. Also, much like, big version of KCP. Incredibly useless for a 12-team league. Very little upside, but minutes are secure, role is secure, production is nice across the board. It's okay across the board. Same with Neesmith. Hate it in a 12. Totally good here. Love it here, actually. It's the same as... I'm sitting back here and go, why did I take Clint Capella? Like, am I dumb? But I think he helps a little bit. Jalen Smith goes next. Jalen Smith, before Patrick Williams, is an indictment on Pat Williams. And I'm surprised that no one's gone with the Reed Shepherd pick yet, or even a Karis LeVert. I'm just going to load this queue up. And why is Tari next season still sitting there? Well, oh, there he goes. At 168, Jordan Clarkson 167. What a very, very interesting and weird draft. Did old mate check out Zik 2K after he picked Olivier Sarr? Did he just boot? What happened? Because he didn't answer himself in the chat, and now he's not green. Is he going to just order it? Did he leave and cry? What happened? Zik, come back. Talk about Olivier Sarr. Kelly Oubre goes at 169. And you know what? Making that mistake in a mock draft is awesome because it teaches you. You will never forget that. And the people watching this shouldn't forget that. And the people participating in this draft shouldn't forget that either. Fantasy Punisher took Buddy Hield. Now, I don't like Buddy Hield at 65 like on ESPN, but 170. Let's go for it. Yeah, this guy's definitely left. After the Olivier Sarr mess up. Oh, no, there he is. He's back. And he goes with Drummond. He redeems himself with a very good pick. Might do a 16-team mock today as well, by the way. Not sure yet. Maybe. Debating. Kyle, who has really annoyed me with his last two picks. Let's see if he takes anyone off my queue here. I think he'll take Isaac. No, he went with Steffi Castle, which at 173 is way more interesting than taking about 104 like he is on ESPN. All right. Oh, Rui Hachimura, 174. It's fine. He's starting. There's something there. We're getting into stinking territory here, really bad territory. But there are certain players who are around, like Kyle. I don't like that Kyle Anderson pick. Keldon. What am I typing into? I almost typed that into the chat. Sorry, chat. Let's take. I'm gonna put Keldon on my queue with Thingo out, Vassell out, which I know, and Kelly Ware's gonna go in there just in case. Not gonna drive Keldon Blevins, just in case you're wondering. Vince Williams would have been a great pick, but he's hurt. I would love to pick Trey Alexander, but I'm just not that ballsy. Mitchell Robinson goes. Auto-picked, but... Okay. 177. He's out for a long time. We're getting into the stage where Christian Brown as a pick makes sense, which is a really, really not a good place to be in, is it? Isaiah Jackson. Interesting pick. Obviously just trying to get some blocks in. No starting role, clearly, but interesting. Jeez, we're getting rough here, aren't we? Oh, he took Isaac. Espirito. Matas Buzelis went at 179. Yeah. John Isaac at 180. I wanted it. I wanted to will it into existence, but clearly not. And then he goes with Reed Shepherd, which I wouldn't do. But that's okay. It's definitely not a bad pick. Bob Dillingham. Robbie was obviously awesome in game one, but remember who was out. Conley, the starters played 9 minutes. Edwards was out as well. Randall was out. I get it. Oh, he took Holland. You cannot be serious. How? How did Holland go there? Thought I was going to sneak that one all the way through. Oh, well, at least someone took him. Why is no one taking TJ McConnell? I don't really think that, like, TJ, his assists are solid, but they don't do enough to make me good in that category. So is it worth that for him? Probably not. As Life of Cars Auto picks again against Pat Williams, who I had in my queue. I've only got 2 guys left, and I will take Keldon Johnson if it gets back that way to me. Because we are talking about 10 and 11 now, so starter and bench. Big Dick Nick Richards at 186. He could start the season as the starter. Now, he was obviously mid-ish last season, and he's going to go back to being a backup, I'm guessing. But, yeah. Vince becomes Lou took Carlo. I like Carlo, as you're well aware, but didn't really happen for him today, did it? So we'll see what happens. Preston Chua had a monster for the Knicks yesterday, and he's going to get a role. He is going into my queue. Someone said, brother took... Oh, TJ did go. He took my Halley insurance, which is a good way to actually look at this draft, is getting some of your own backups, maybe, especially when you can sit them on the bench. Even though we do have to use them, but McConnell is a great Halliburton insurance because he has value of his own. Santi Aldama goes. So Klingon 188. Mumba takes Aldama at 189. Life of Cuz, I don't know what's going on with your things. Telling us the draft room's timing as your pick approaches. It's happened to you multiple times. I think it might be on your end, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. Vince Williams auto-picked from Zick, who was here and is now not. Whatever. We're getting to the end of a draft. I'm not resetting stuff here. Keldon and Precious are 2 players who I do not like, as you're aware. But that's what this part of the draft is for. Torturing yourself. Fantasy Punisher. He's also not picking. Oh, there he goes. Oh, DeAndre Hunter. Wow, I couldn't like that less. Why is Amari Bailey sitting at this randomly high spot? What the hell's he doing there? Put Daniel Tice into the queue. Trey Jones is a really interesting one. If Chris Paul gets hurt, he will blow up. Peyton Watson is there. Peyton Pritchard is there. Bronny James. No thanks. Isaiah Stewart actually comes... Wow, I'm really just taking the guys that I do not like. I'm just scrolling down this list to see what's available to us. It's rough. So after iHeartRadio, make your pick, mate. Scott Pippen. Do we do that? Corey Kispert. The Brogdon injury does help Kispert. Oh, I'm chucking Juice McBride in to my queue. Now we are getting into you're in a 20-team league, what wild flyer can you take zone, which would have been Ron Holland. But old mate Fairhavar did it instead. Huge Lop takes Peyton Watson. Hate how sites list Peyton Watson. Like, Fantrack's got him as shooting guard only. Like, bro is a power forward center. He has not played any position that has not been power forward or center in the NBA. Why is he shooting guard? Point made takes Lonzo Ball. Just... Like, sure, like I think he'll be okay-ish if he stays healthy, but he's also just going to have such limited minutes. He's going to miss so many games that I don't really... Ooh, Khalil Ware. Matt Carmody. Okay. That's interesting. I like that. did my guy... No, Jovic went. So my guys that I was going to take did not go. So let's take Keldon. Let's take Precious at 200 and 201. Feel pretty okay about that. And they are not players that I normally like, but it's always about, to me, when talking fantasy, it's about the value and where they are. Real life, I also don't think they're particularly good players for roles they've been put in that they're not good for, but in the right role, it does make sense. It's all about fit and relativity a lot of the time. Well, it's not all about that, but it's somewhat about that. Caleb Martin goes 202, Lou Dort 203, Matt Carmody, that's a good pick from you. Pritchard has been really good and opportunities whenever someone goes down, so I do like that selection there as well. Isaiah Stewart, Juice McBride are the two guys I would hope would flick back around to me. I really don't think that I'll get them both. Yeah, this is what Fairvar says. Amari Bailey's looking really good at the top of the rankings. I hope he gets to me. Yeah, why is he there? Why the hell is Amari Bailey got an ADP of 271.16? He plays for the Nets. He's on their Exhibit 10 training camp roster. Why is he there? Terrence Mann at 206. A couple of names standing out here is interesting. Boyan, maybe? Whitmore, maybe? Obi Toppin is interesting. Dolan Wright, sort of, but not really. Who else have I got? Luke Cornett has been starting in place of Al Horford. That's worth noting. Chris Dunn started for the Clippers the other day. Fontecchio started for the Pistons. Oh, Juice McBride went. Ooh, Matisse Thybulle, yeah. He's I honestly don't know what to expect from Thybulle because Kamara's going to be coming off the bench and they're going to be behind Avdia. Where does he play? Boyan goes at 209, which is pretty solid. Derek Jones goes at 210. Yeah, fine. Wouldn't say that really fits the upside play zone, though, does it? Well, I don't think it does. Still want... I've got Isaiah Stewart and Obi Toppin on my list. I want to get some threes. They're both pretty good for threes for their position, too. Zik 2K took Whitmore. He has left again after Olivier Sarr. Came back, one pick, then booted again. Thanks. Simone Fontecchio goes to White Mamba. He started last game with Toby Harris out, but it was with Toby Harris out. But he's a solid enough player here. Steven Adams at 212. Fine. Just completely forgotten, I guess. I'm just Oh, you know who is an interesting player? Vasa Misic. I think, 20 minutes a night, enough sort of similar standalone value in a 20-team league. I don't need assists, so, does it make sense for me? Whatever, it's fine. But, and the other one, Trey Mann, who looked really good in that first game, and I don't know what they will do with him and Josh Green. I think Green will be the guy, but yeah, that's a little bit of insurance with standalone value. Intriguing. Oh, Isaiah Stewart went 217. Imagine me being disappointed about not getting Isaiah Stewart. Yuri took DeLon Wright. Josh Green did go at 214. Okay. Kobe Buffkin. They don't really have a backup point guard. I hope he's healthy. That makes me interested. Well, no, I was already interested, but I am interested in what he's going to do, Buffkin. He was actually in the top 20 of my guys remaining. Malik Beasley, he will get up threes. How much he plays or what he does is not sure, but he will get them up. And then Paul Reed, who... Oh, he took Trey Mann. How dare you? Paul Reed, I just don't know how much he's going to play as a third-string center. That's why I don't like it. Jonathan Mobo. Hey, here we go. Mobo started in place of Barnes. Mobo is going to play down the stretch because they are tanking and he will get minutes. That is a very much flyer pick. I just don't know if he's going to... Ooh, Scott Pippen. I don't know if Mobo's going to do enough initially. But it's a pick. He's a pick. We're getting towards the end of this draft. Not quite there. I'm going to put Julian Strawther in there, but just also, that's more of a keep an eye on Strawther. But keep an eye on the Alexander situation. Keep an eye on all of those guys. Grant Williams goes 224, and as much as we don't love Grant, totally good. That's very, very reasonable, that position for him. Okay. I do want Toppin. Toppin is my major guy to get here. Royce O'Neal goes at 225. Okay. He'll have minutes. What do we do with like Kyle Lowry, who I don't know how much he's going to play, but we saw, well, a good pick from you, Yuri, getting Luke on it. We saw Lowry get a lot of playing time last season. Will that, once he got to Philadelphia, yeah. Spolstra on having Nikola Jovic being part of the starting lineup in scrimmage. He said he didn't do anything to make us suggest that he shouldn't be part of that discussion. Damn it, there goes Obi Toppin after Eve Missy. So yeah, the Jovic probably, I don't know who else would they put? Haywood Highsmith. I think Jovic is going to start for Philly. So after Toppin goes Finney Smith at 229, who how long is he going to last in this team? Not super long, I'm guessing. Zick, his leaving legend, has gone. Time it out. How long has this draft gone for so far? Are we doing good time? Just over an hour. For 20 teams is not too bad. I realize that my head is in front of my team, which it shouldn't have been, so I apologize for that. I think you can see enough of it, though. Just in a different spot because I had to shrink the screen down, so I do apologize for the positioning there. But you can see the board. I should have had that organized, but this was a little bit last minute, me doing this. So let me just quickly move myself across. Apologies for that. Oh, he did. He got auto-drafted Amari Bailey. Lol. He's got Olivier Sarr and Amari Bailey. What a team. Dalton Connect, Zach Collins. Mo Wagner. Oh, he took Julian Strawther. My list of like deep prospects is getting eaten. Who would want to take a flyer on old mate Jarris Walker here? That Duncan Robinson, who had 12-team value for a period of time last season, and we're very much down here. I don't know how much he's going to play, but all it takes is one hero injury and we're good. I'll put him in the queue. Cole Anthony goes at 235. Who else are we looking at? I don't like that all those guys that I had there are gone. Bruce Brown goes at 236. Anything else making any sense anywhere here? Like, someone who's going to get minutes is Torian Prince, but like, do I care? Not really. But he's going to get minutes. This is a weird spot. Davion Mitchell also played quite a bit in that first game. Jared Vanderbilt goes. Dylan Brooks goes. Now we are getting to my pick. And I don't... My list is empty. Cody Williams. Ooh. I'm going to take Vasa Misic. Now what? Oh, God, there's just not much here, is there? Maybe you know what? Just for the fun of it, I'm going to take this is, if you talk deep flyers, let's do Max Christie. We're just taking chances on guys that there might be something coming there. Don't be confused with Cam Christie. Oh, and then Duncan Robinson went. Yeah, I like where your head's at, Damien. 6. I've got one pick left. Luke Kennard. Okay. All right. This is a very, very interesting last round. Like, we are getting away. Like, I don't even know who the upside players here are. Like, Harrison Barnes is still there. Mason Plumlee's an interesting get because Nurkic can get hurt, right? Dario Saric auto-picked. I will take Plumlee because if Nurk gets hurt, it's pretty good numbers. The other one is Lowry, Najee Marshall, Torian Prince. These do-nothing wings who have got roles. So what happens when you go into... Tijan Salan. Wow, wild. 246, let's go. When you get into these deep drafts, the back of your roster is rough, man. I'm pretty happy with me coming from 20 of how I've built... My team's not going to be the best team here, I don't think. But I'm happy with how it looks. Damien Six's team actually looks really strong. I think he's done a very, very good job of building out a really strong team. And he came from 19, so he's got a really good team. My last 2 picks have really bad projections because... I just don't think they're necessarily... It's more just taking flyers to see what happens. There goes Barnesy at... Plumlee went. 249, then Plumlee 250. Jared McCain 251. That's an auto pick, which was the top of the queue for God knows what reason. Kevin Herter at 252. I'll put Marvin Bagley in the queue. Is there another upsidey guy I can take? Not really, is there? Xavier Tillman goes... Yeah, I really like Damien's team. I like Yuri's team. I'm sort of middle to high end of the pack. Zik 2K is at the bottom because obviously of those errors. Mo Bamba, solid enough pick. If Zubats gets hurt, he will put up good numbers. And Lowry at 255 is fine. Dinwiddie, yeah, okay, whatever. We'll see where he goes. We'll see where he fits. Not sure we will get to that other mock today. We'll find. I don't think so. My voice is a little shot. This is the 3rd show of the day. I don't think we'll get to it. But I've just got to check my schedule. I think we might not do it, but you'll know if I do. You'll know if I do. Dayron Sharp got drafted. He's injured. That's interesting. Najee Marshall, Jordan Miller. That's a deep cut from Dayrock. I love that. Goga Badadze put up a pretty good number. Oh, and he took Jarris. He did go the Jarris Walker route. I mentioned it before. He did go that way. I got the final pick of this draft. Markel Fultz. Okay. Still not playing for anyone. Not really sure if... We're getting close, man. Like, he needs to probably get on a team soon. Just trying to scroll through for anything that might appeal anywhere. Not really. Isaiah Collier, that is a very nice deep cut. What the hell? What am I going to find here? Probably not much is my guess. Yeah, it's pretty... So I take Tim Hardaway? I don't want to. So Bagley does go. Life of Cars gets auto-picked on Bagley. Tim Hardaway goes. All right. So Timmy's out of here. I just have... Why is one Nunez up here? Not even in the NBA. Nunez, one of... I think 2 players that I know of who haven't signed. It's him and Nikola Jurisic in the second round. Jurisic got a broken foot. Nunez, I think Barcelona he went to. Kevon Looney. This guy, don't throw names into the chat unless you're picking them. Yeah, we picked him. Yeah, also Iguodala looked good. He is still a third string center, but he was pretty good yesterday. Hard for me to get excited about a third string second round pick center, but he was good. He's also listed as a small forward for some reason, which he's not. Isaiah Joe. Brian Scalabrine? Okay, cool. Bronny James, cool. All right. White Mumbo, cool. You're not coming back. I don't like that. Just pick someone, man. What's the point? Jabari Walker goes. This team's got injuries, right? Johnny Conchar for Memphis. What if he just gets something out of him initially? Sadiq Bey, I don't think he's playing, but all right, that's okay. He'd obviously be worth the pick here if he was healthy, but he's not. I'm going to take John Conchar if it gets to me. Nick Batum goes next at 273. This guy really going on the Osa Iguodala bandwagon. Nikhil Alexander-Walker. That's not bad. I like that selection there. Who else is here? Julian Champagny would be one to watch in San Antonio with the Vassell injury. Jake LaRavia also in Memphis, but I'm going to take Conchar first. Moses Moody goes. Mr. Black goes at 276. LaRavia or Conchar or Davion. Davion's got a role. I do need steals, don't I? Heard some nonsense that Darko was like, we're not sure if it's going to be Dick or Mitchell. Like, come on, man. Is Dick that bad? Surely not. Maybe I'll do that. Ooh, Marcus Sasser picked for reasons. Jose Alvarado? I'll take Davion. We've got two options here. Davion or Johnny Conchar. Quentin Grimes goes. My pick. Let's go. Pick 260, Davion Mitchell. And that is the draft. So I picked at number 20. Towns, Durant, Adebayo, Barrett, Kuminga, Capella, Hendricks, Strus, Dosunmu, Keldon Johnson, Precious Achiuwa, Vasa Micic, Max Christie, and Davion Mitchell. It was a lot. There's a lot happening there. But thank you to everyone who was a part of the draft. Thank you for you guys for watching a 20-team draft. Won't be doing another 20-team one, so that if you're in a 20-teamer, there's some understanding of how things may happen or how things may change, so be aware of that. I'm pretty okay with how my team projected out. Like the top teams, OKC Thunder, Damian, Green Jeans, Kyle, Huge, Lop, SMK, Espiritu, and me. And then iHeartRadio, Fehavar, Life of Cuz, then it's Carmody, McGrady, Dayrock, Lou, Fantasy Punisher, Baza, Point Made, White Mamba, and Zik2K. But do not get caught up in projections. Do not get caught up in projected standings. Just be happy with what you did in your draft, and there's plenty of things that adjust as the season goes on. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the video and subscribe. And if you are still here, you are a legend. And if you are that much of a legend and you're here, I want you to tell me about it down in the comments. And how do I want you to tell me? I'm trying to think of what I can tell you to put down in the comments. It'll be confusing. That will be interesting. Well, let's actually just pull it back to the beginning of the show. Just write Sherry. Sherry. We are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.